think we're live. Yep, we're live.
Holy crap.
All right, cool.
Is this switcher still working?
Now we just got to open.
Yeah, the switcher, everything in the switcher still works. The only thing is just that it's just streaming through.
All right. We are live.
But is this a new...
You want to verify that on the other end?
Yeah, you want to refresh that. It's the same video. It should be the same.
It says waiting for ProMind here. Let me just go to ProMind. Maybe there's a live.
Maybe there's like a delay, 30-second delay.
Okay, so this one...
Hey.
Okay, so something's going on.
Yeah, we're live now.
All right.
Thank you, Josh. We're going to open up our session here.
Okay, so something's going on.
Yeah.
Thank you, Josh.
We're going to open up our session here.
Okay, so something's going on.
Yeah. Cool.
Let me just tell people. Let me just go. Piece of crap. Comment. 1 hour late and live. Okay. So I'm gonna mute this piece of shit here. Okay. So let's
we
get
just
a
got to
sequ-
get Ableton back up and running now. Here we go. Yeah, well, we've had some fun getting our live stream going with the ATEM, so we had to get a little workaround going. But hey,
I can't even tell you how it worked, other than just using OBS.
Yeah,
Doesn't make much more.
That
doesn't
is
make
exactly
sense.
what we did. So I'm reopening the session. While I'm doing this, Gavin, why don't you tell folks a little about the history of this track as we're getting this ready to rock here?
Okay, cool. Hey guys, welcome to ProMind Studio. I'm Gavin Hardkiss.
I'm
This is Greg Gordon. And we're a little bit delayed in getting this session going, but we have all afternoon, so better late than never.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So we're going to be working on a remix of a song called Raincry. And Raincry was the fourth release on the Hardkiss label back in the 90s. Came out on vinyl in like 1994. And it created quite a stir in the world of electronic music. Just to put you into that moment in time, that's before the internet and before pretty much computers. So this song was made, it was an electronic music song made with an Emax 2 sampler, which had about 30 seconds of sampling, and a little sequencer, a MIDI sequencer that was connected to it. I had bought the equipment on a credit card, and it was my first music equipment I ever owned. So like I quickly got to learn how to sample and sequence in the basement of our house in Twin Peaks here in San Francisco. And lived in that house with my musical partners, Scott and Robbie Hardkiss, and our girlfriends. So it was like this party house, and we were throwing parties and getting all these cool ideas and going down in the basement and making really simplistic sequences. So Raincry came together from a few samples, one from a movie called The Power of One. That's where the Raincry yell came from. And then some break beats from a sample CD, and a couple of other obscure samples from vinyl records. And we kind of like put a demo together and then hooked up with a couple of engineers, Mike Wertheim and John Druckman and Jeff Taylor, who had a studio in the South Bay, and we took the demo into them, and yeah, we had like multiple sessions down there, just kind of like flushing it out and getting it produced. And the song came out in, like I said, 1994 on Hardkiss Music as the fourth Hardkiss record, and it just kind of blew up. I think we pressed up maybe 100 or 200 white vinyl copies, and as we just mail them out to our favorite DJs just to kind of like get them in their pocket. And then we released it as black vinyl with artwork that we ripped off from a Philippe Halsman photo of Salvador Dalí design. And the record just kind of like took on a life of its own and really was an expression that was appreciated worldwide. And bands like the Chemical Brothers and the Fatboy Slim, just to name a few, as well as Digweed and Sasha, really like championed that sound, and it really influenced them. I ended up opening up for Chemical Brothers on their first tour of the United States, and then Sasha and Digweed licensed that song for their Northern Exposure CD, which kind of put them on the map. And few things stand the test of time, but this is a song that to this day DJs are playing. I mean, you'll hear like Lee Reynolds play it like weekly.
It's cool. It's a cool track. So let's talk a little bit about the setup, because you basically you remixed a lot of these elements.
Yeah.
And you sent over an Ableton session. Yeah. We were originally talking about last mix we did together. We did in Pro Tools.
Yeah.
Which took advantage of this D command desk over here that you can see.
Mm-hmm.
But this time we're going to do it right in Ableton. We're going to mix this guy in Ableton. I'm going to use the push as a controller to help us with the automation and the workflow as we go here. So let's just walk through the session for starters, all right?
Sounds good. So, like, I began working on this a couple of weeks ago in my Ableton Live 11, pulling in the few stems that we have and then just recreating the elements from scratch.
Yeah.
And
we'll give you a little taste of that here right now. The first thing I do on the master track is I just put Insight here so I can monitor my levels closely from the get-go. I like to mix at about neg 16 or so LUFS. I figure that's a good compromise with the live stream that we're doing here right now. And then also create groups in the session, color coding those groups. So you want to just talk about the tracks you sent over. Obviously you can see we got the drum group here. And if you look at this, I'll just flip over to the overhead on the camera here. Let's take a look here. You can see the overhead. On the overhead, you can see the push here. It's great because with the groups, I can easily set up my groups and then close them down so I can navigate the push a lot faster. So in this case, like here's effects group. So I'm going to shut that down. And then I'm going to flip on over here to the bass drum group, so you can see the whole drum group over here right now. And we've got an 808 kick. We've got an initial kick that you sent over to me too, and that was a little distorted, so we replaced it with another kick, which was cool. There was some plug-in you had on there that was kind of overdriving it a little bit, so we replaced that. But right now the session has no plugs on it, right? It's just the organization of the tracks. So we've got the drum group here, kick, 808, snare, flange, shaker, clap verb, percussion, hats, snare roll, percussion fill, and then we jump over to the bass. The bass tracks, kind of cool because, let's just flip back over to Ableton Stream, over here, we sent over this bass track, and we can kind of just check this out for a second. Let's just hear the bass solo. So you should be able to hear that bass track soloed right now. And what we did is I imported the original MIDI track in with the bass so we could fatten it up. In this case, I'm using the Arturia plug, the Prophet 5. I love this synth. It's pretty awesome. And we'll be able to do some cool things with the filters on here, cut off, and some of the automation as we move forward. But that just kind of thickened it up and works nicely with the drum group here. We'll check that out. Got a nice little flange going on that snare there already. That's kind of printed into the mix.
Yeah.
So as we move down here, we've got a synth group. And there's a whole different couple. What do you got? Like 5 tracks of synths in here?
I got many synth tracks just because they're layered.
Yeah. So let's add that in just so we can see what's going on there. What synths are you using here, Gavin?
I think I use a lot of silence for those synths. I also use a lot of Arturias, but I don't know that I did for this track. I may have used Serum for... I'm not hearing it right now, but there's a arpeggiator.
Well, the arp is right below it. Here it is, right here. This guy,
yeah, I think that may be from maybe a Serum. I'm not sure. I don't use a lot of soft synths. I have like 10 go-to synths. I don't really like to overwhelm myself.
Cool. All right, so let's just keep going down the track. So we're going to add this pulse in now. There's the pulse element. That's maybe that's the RP we're talking about right there. I'll bring that up a little bit. It's got a little bit of a sidechain feel to it, right?
That's actually a sample of a string that I manipulated. It's not a soft synth.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it's cool. It's pulsing. You can feel the pulsing and rhythm, like a sidechain element to that. And then, is this the string sample you were talking about down below there?
That's another string sample. It's a second one. It's just a little pretty elements.
Cool. Let's check that out. I'll just bring us back over here. And then below that, we've got some noise for transitions, right? You got like this little sweep kicking in here. Let's check that out. There's a little transition element here.
Yeah, so I created that with I guess it's a Max, maybe a Max plug-in called Whoosh Machine.
Okay. Getting some tech support here, making sure we're sounding good for everybody out there. So I'm gonna.
Is something too hot?
No, he says it sounded good. Just turn down the camera 8-10 feet on that. All right, so let's just keep going through these tracks. So you printed some effects here, right? You got delay hard and delay EOS. What are those tracks here?
The EOS is a reverb. It's my favorite reverb. I always just put it as my reverb track.
Okay.
And then the delay hard is just like a mega.
All right, let's just check what those are. I just want to hear what they are on their own.
Okay.
So I'm going to pull out some of this stuff here. Just check those guys out here. All right, so we got a couple. Let me just pull this guy out and this guy out. And then let's just hear these two guys for a second here. Let's pull these two out here as well. So now I just want to hear what those effects are and what they're playing back, so we just know what they are. Okay, so those are on.
It sounds like they're just the FX channel. Just they just.
Okay, cool.
Whooshes.
On the whooshes, right? Now I get it. Okay, good. So those are part of this group. So maybe we'll just group those all together here.
That's fine.
So we know that they're one group here, and we'll call this synth transitions.
So can I give people like a bird's eye view of what we're trying to do here?
Yeah, totally.
So the original version of Raincry is like I think it's like 126 or 128. Maybe I'm wrong. But
BPM.
yeah,
And
and
we
it's,
got this.
it's a breakbeat track.
Right.
So like, there's never been a 4/4 version of Raincry,
Right.
and I wanted to come up with a version that just would work for 4 on the floor DJs. And I have my friends, my favorite friends who are like rock star DJs. I'm trying to make it for, them to play on a regular basis.
Like Macioplex, you mentioned.
I want Macioplex to play this.
Uh huh.
He's been a big fan, and I hung out with him in the fall, and I've been listening to how he starts sets, and then the type of stuff that he plays. And so I wanted to start this like almost like melodic and ambient, and then get into the beat part of it, after 2 or 3 minutes. What we may decide to do is make another version that's all beats, like beats, starting with a kick, because that's what DJs like to do. But for the purposes of what we're going to do right now, there's almost like an ambient intro that's inspired by a Orbital song called Belfast.
Oh, cool.
So, I don't know where we start. You need to direct us as far as where we go.
Yeah, we're going to do a couple of things. I just want to just call out the last tracks in here because you've got a group of effects in here, right? There's several effects tracks.
Yeah.
We can open those up just to give those a
just
quick
like
little look.
warbly, weird sounds that play on top of. Just give it some. Just make it unique.
Yeah, cool. And then, last but not least, you've got the Sam Cooke track in here.
Yeah.
Just talk a little bit about that, and then we'll dive into the mix.
Okay, cool. So I actually, for this remix, I changed the key of the original song, and then I was listening to other songs that are in this key. I don't know. I use the color wheel, the what's it called? I think it's 8A. This one. And then I just happened to like listen to the Sam Cooke track called "A Change Is Gonna Come," and
Just play that a little in the background here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of emotional context to this, right?
yeah, and
Totally, it's like, wow, where did this come from? When I heard this come in at the end of the remix, I'm like, what? What's going on here, man?
yeah. Sometimes you just put like things from two worlds together.
Yeah.
You want to put the yells on top of it because that would give it more more context.
Yeah, okay. Are they actually in
Yeah,
there? Oh, yeah,
those
yeah. Oh,
ones.
yeah, all right, yeah.
Yeah, I just started
Those are the
listening-
tribal yells from the original mix, right?
I just started listening to these tribal yells on top of the Sam Cooke song, and it brought up a lot of emotion.
Yeah.
And Raincry is one of the most emotional songs I've ever heard on a dance floor. It's like it's too much for some DJs who like to play like cold dance music, but it's a real intense. Hits you in the heart.
But we were talking about this earlier, and you were talking about how you felt Robbie was just such an emotional...
Scott.
I'm sorry, Scott.
Yeah, it's okay. Robbie's
Scott.
also.
Robbie is too.
Yeah.
No, Scott, so emotional in his DJing, and
Yeah.
that connected you to his whole vibe, right?
Yeah, Sam Cooke has a place in my heart, and he has a place in the Hardkiss legacy and our mutual love for Prince. And where'd you go to buy a Sam Cooke album?
Yeah, man.
The record store.
The record store.
You get it at the record store.
The record store, right.
So, there's lyrics in this song that just really speak to me, and the loss of Scott and me being his musical brother. And when I was working on this demo, I cried like I haven't cried in years, just listening to this. So
I think it's important to know. These are emotional times, We're living through some really strange emotional times, and there's a lot of, it's bubbling up a lot of stuff.
yeah.
All right, so cool, man. I think this is cool. I think it gives us a good point of reference. So let's pull these solos off right now. And let's just walk through the track itself and set some markers up so we can understand the different sections of the track, because I really like to work in segments, as we mix. So I know, we can immediately see where the kick starts. So that's pretty much your intro, right?
Your intro's up to the kick.
Yeah. Let's show the desktop here so
That's
we can
good.
see what we're talking about. Yeah. So let's see here. Here we go. So here's this section right here. So there's where your kick's coming in.
Right.
So would you call this whole segment
Just call
here
it intro.
Intro?
Yeah.
Cool. So I'm going to set a marker there. So there's marker number 1. I'm going to name that marker number 1 here. Let's select that and name it. So I'm going to call that intro. And then when the kick drops over here, right, we're going to set another marker over here. And what do we want to call that one?
It's going to call it, I don't know, body or...
You want to call it
Just call
V1, verse 1?
Yeah, call it
one?
V1.
Yeah, call it V1 for now, okay?
And then you have a breakdown that comes in.
You can see where the bass
it,
drops here, right? So it's always, dance mixes are so visual.
Yeah.
When you look at these pieces, you know what this shit is. It's like, it's so easy to kind of lay it out there. So we'll call this break 1.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. And
then just call V2 where the kick comes back in on the bass.
On the bass right here, right?
I think so, yeah.
So we'll set that right here. And we'll call that V2.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Let's call that V2.
And then I would say that's the heart of it. Like V2 to the end of the kicks is like the main body of the song. That's it.
Okay. Are there any segments in here that we should kind of think about or note, or just kind of treat it as one big section then?
I'd treat it as a big section. Like, if I was making this for, your average DJ, we would start the song at V2 almost. And it just extend V2 for 4 minutes. But, we're trying to make something that has dynamics and changes.
Okay, cool. Couple things I did just to set this up was the 808 kick here was embedded in the main 909 kick track, so I kind of split those out so we could treat them a little bit differently. And then now we don't need this kick anymore because that was the kind of distorted one, so I'm going to delete that track here.
And you can mute these kicks.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. We can just basically pull that out, right? Yeah. Oh, did we just miss a boom at the end there?
I think we did.
Okay, let's go back a second here. And, oh yeah, here we go. Because we had done this before we did a lot of rigmarole in getting this live stream up and running. We had some challenges.
It's actually not, it's just that.
This guy right here? Yeah. Had some fun little challenges with ATEM straight to YouTube. So we ended up having to reroute this whole thing through OBS, but so glad it's working now.
Yeah, and now we can mute those guys.
And now we'll get rid of these guys here. Okay. There we go.
And that extra
little
one.
guy down here. Yeah, let's get rid of this guy right there. Okay.
Not that one.
Oh, wrong one. Sorry.
The one below it.
That's the one we want. So it's this guy here. Right. Thank you. Okay. Now we can get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and delete this track. There we go. All right. Now we're clean. All right. So we've got our 808 kick. We've got our kick that's pounding through the majority of the track. We've got a snare flange. So let's start by getting a bass level on our drums here.
Okay.
And then maybe we can go back to the intro afterwards. One of the things I love to do, too, that's just kind of fun for locating around is we can key map these sections right here so that I can just easily locate them. So intro is going to be 1, V1 is going to be section 2, break's going to be 3, V2 is going to be 4, and then the outro for now will be 5. So fairly easy, simple arrangement. So now I can go here to V1 simply by hitting 2 and going to play. All right, so it's easy if I want to go to break. Boom, I'll go to break by hitting 3, like that. So it's super fun, super easy to locate around on the track. All right, so here we are. Let's bring up the gain in the room a little bit. So we're going to start just by checking our meters here, seeing where we're at. That's a pretty good spot for my drums to be right now. I'm at neg 17, so I've got some headroom to play with. I want to be able to build this mix up nicely. And I never want to mix my drums too much in a vacuum, but I'm going to be using the push to help us out along the way here. So let's take a look at the mix levels on our tracks now. This is fun. I haven't done this in a while, so it's fun to be back in the studio mixing with you, man.
Yeah, I've never mixed with a push, so I'm going to be watching over your shoulder.
Okay, yeah, this is going to be cool. So I'm going to kind of close down some of these tracks while I focus in on the drums right now. So let's kind of scroll over here, and here we go. So now I've got my drum group here. So before I get into any group processing on the drums, I'm just going to take a listen to some of the individual tracks first. And first thing I like to do is check the tuning between the kick and the bass. So let's solo up our kick a little bit. I'm going to mute out these other guys right now. Classic dance music kick here. Sounds pretty good.
It doesn't annoy me.
Huh?
It does not annoy me. It's fine. Like, I don't like things when they're too in key. So I wouldn't even put a tuner in there and go, is it in key? I don't think we need to.
Okay.
I think that sounds
cool. That's what's most important right now. So I think we're going to go up in here. Let's take a listen to V1. I'm going to loop this section here. So we're just going to kind of move our loop brackets around a little bit so I can just kind of work on this section right here for starters. So here we go. So we're listening to the V1 section right here. And let's unsolo these guys right now. And we'll unsolo the bass as well, because the bass doesn't drop into a little bit later in the track. So we're just going to solo up the drums right now, checking our levels. All right, cool. So I'm going to use a few different plugs on this right now. So let's talk about this kick. I'm going to go here on the overhead if you want to flip over the overhead here. I'm on the kick track. I've selected it, and I think I want to add a device here. So I'm going to add some EQs. In this case, I think we can start with our audio effects, and we'll try to keep it on the lighter side for starters, and we'll put a nice EQ8 on here. We got some nice drum EQs to start with, so let's start with a kick EQ up in here. That's going to add some thickness to the bottom end of our kick.
Do you like to use the Ableton plugins, or?
Well, we could A/B, it'd be fun to A/B some of these plugins, because I love FabFilter too on here.
I use FabFilter.
FabFilter's phenomenal. So let's add another device here. We can go to our audio effects, and actually I'm going to go to the plugins here. We'll go to our VST3s, and over here you're going to see FabFilter, and I'm going to use, we'll use a Pro Q2. Why don't we load that up in here now? Right, so now we've got a Pro Q2 on the right, and we've got our Ableton on the left. Now, the cool thing about this, one of the two things I like to do with the kick. One is I really like to also throw a utility on here. Super easy to do, and it allows us to, before actually hitting the EQ, we can do a little bass mono. Let's show the desktop while I'm doing this here.
Okay.
It'll flip over. It's a trip looking at the YouTube channel because there's a little delay on it.
Yeah.
So over here, now I've got the Pro Q2, and we can A/B. Let's have some fun. We can A/B these, right? So they're just thickened up with the EQ8. But before we hit those, I'm going to bass mono that kick, so it just centers up all that low end energy. And I'm going to bass mono everything below around 110. I don't want this to be too wide. But there might be a little bit of energy in the clickiness of it, so we'll keep that stereo, and just because I could mono the whole track like this, but I'm going to bass mono this. So here it is with the EQ8 in, and you can see where the energy is, right? I can, if I bring it up big on the screen here, you can see where the wave of energy is at that kick. That kind of 60 cycle low end heartbeat. I'm a little below it here. I like to get up and around 60 cycles with these guys. But that's a lot of gain added to it. Might back that off a little bit to depends how this is going to mesh up with the bass, so we're going to hear that in a second. All right, so there it is with the kick EQ here. Let's check it out with the Fab filter. So now Fab filter I've got on 0 latency here, and you can see the same kind of wave, and obviously there's a lot of default settings here. There's plenty of things you can start out with, particularly like drums in this case, that's going to give me that low shelf right out the gate, so that I can cut out some of the mud in the kick, and then I can kind of look at where that energy is going to be on here. And one of the cool things about this here too is I could do a split EQ, but in this case I don't want to, because I want to keep this mono. So let's just keep this, with a little bit of that low end fatness, and then it depends how much of that click I want on the top.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It depends on the other elements. So I can't tell at this point.
All right, so let's leave it alone right now, and let's just A/B those two for a second, just to see if we can hear any difference. So here it is with the Fab filter. Let's take it out, and here it is with the
What's
EQ8.
meatier, obviously, with the Ableton.
Yeah, I think we're just adding more gain, right? Because look, you can see there's that 5 dB of gain that we've got going on here, and a lot of roll off below 30 hertz. So this is pretty classic for dance music mixing, I'd say. And here we're adding, I don't know, we are adding a good bit of gain there. So you can see, but it's not as much, right? If we added 6 dB, that's more like what we're hearing on the EQ.
Yeah, it's not going to be too different at this point. I think we should keep moving and just keep those two handy for when we have other elements in.
Yeah, and that's too much with both of those guys in there, obviously.
It's hard to do even with not having the bass in.
Yeah, pretty hard to do. So let's just get a relative mix going before we start playing around with the bass. So here's the main, this is the main snare. Is this the main snare in there?
I think that's not the main. It is the main snare, but it's not the main snare. It's the percussion that plays more. There's something called percussion. Yeah,
This guy right here.
that's the main one. That one needs to be the main one.
All right, let's move that guy up a little bit then, above the snare flange.
So like if there's going to be a prominence, it's that thing. And there might be a way we can pan or just put them in different places. Not pan, but sonically differentiate. Like that thing there needs to be the emphasis of the...
Might want to just bring the gain up on this guy a little bit.
Let's do it.
Okay. And then also just the volume up a little bit on this guy. Okay, so you got a couple different snares kind of floating in there, right?
Yeah.
Let's throw a little EQ on that guy too.
Sounds good.
Let's since we're having fun with the Fab filter, let's go ahead and throw that in there. Let's go with our Pro Q. Let's try the Pro Q3 on this guy here. And we'll go with some drum settings in here as well. But we don't need all that low end here at all. As a matter of fact, you can see
I've
where
already
all the energy
EQ'd
is.
it out.
You've already EQ'd it out. All right. So let's just give it a little smack on this guy. Now, do you hear any kind of slapback on this, or any additional rhythmic elements to it?
I don't think so. I think I like it kind of dry, and then it's just how it's gonna play with the other snare. Like those two need.
So it's really those two together,
right?
So we might even create a little subgroup within these guys just to control them together. So we're gonna call that the snare group here.
Yeah.
Cool. Now I can control the volume of both of those guys together here, which is kind of cool. Okay. And it seems like we could easily get a little EQ going on this guy too. So we're going to drop a little Pro Q on this guy here and just kind of just to brighten it up a hair. Cool. And then it might be fun to just have a little, we could add in here, we're going to insert a return, add a different return track. Maybe try to put a little plate verb on these guys together.
Yeah, play with it.
Sure. Put a little on this return here. And then maybe on this guy here, we can insert a different kind of reverb, something that might, give us some fun. I always like the Valhalla for these kinds of things. A Valhalla plate would probably sound really good on these guys. So let's put a little plate on those guys here. And we're going to send that Valhalla plate. Let's see what we get over here on the snare group. Let's see if we can get that to send over here. There we go. So I'm going to tighten that plate up so it's not nearly as much decay on it.
Yeah.
Just to give it a little bit of air in the mix here.
Yeah,
Right?
that sounds good.
All right, cool. Let's just let that go for now, and then let's just keep going down our drum mix and see what else we got in here before we start getting into.
So that shaker, you can give it a lot of love. I mean, you can make, because dance music, it's like that's gonna be your high. That's the element that's gonna drive the song.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know if it needs decapitator or.
You want to give it a little bit of saturation on this guy? All right. Yeah. All right. So we can do that. So decapitator. Let's see what we got in here. That's going to be in our Sound Toys plugin architecture. And we do have some Sound Toys in here, but they're not going to show up on the VST3s, and they're going to show up on the VST2s here. And
it's the second one.
Yeah, we could throw a little decapitator on there. So let's pull that over here in the shaker. There it is, dry. And there it is, totally wet. Nice. And we're going to keep that low cut. Get a little low cut going on that. Let's keep all the high frequency energy in there for now. Because that's if we totally cut that high frequency down. Alright. Now, one of the things we could do with this guy, because right now I got him panned to the left. This guy's kind of panned all the way hard left right now. Where do you see it being in the mix, and do we want to give it a little bit of throw on that?
It's hard for me to tell right now. But throw meaning some pan action.
Like pan action, if we want it to move in the context of the mix. Let's bring in a couple more elements here, and we'll see.
Yeah.
Because the hats are going to play a big role in this too,
so
right?
the hats are. Yeah. I just want to see what you do with them.
Okay, cool. So definitely want to give those a little bit of EQ love in this too. So we'll throw a little EQ. I got my 8 here. I've got my kind of collections. We're just starting. This is a new setup in here. So I'm going to be building our collection as we go.
Like your favorites?
Yeah, exactly. Like favorites, totally. So I'm going to go here back over to... let's see, we'll go over here to... our Fab filter plugs, and let's throw a couple of those in favorites just so it's easy to grab them. So I'm going to add this to EQs over here. So I'm adding that to my favorites, so I can just jump over here and grab my Fab Filter Pro Q3 when I want it. I'm going to throw that down here on my hats. Let's grab that over here. There we go. And here's come the hats. Let's play from here. I'm just going to loop this little section because really it's not so much a hat, it's kind of a ride cymbal, right?
It's a ride, and there's just my ears tuned to like a Detroit kind of French house sound, meaning when I hear that pattern, I connect to this sound. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to explain. That's why it's there. It's like, how do I make it? Anyway. And we might find that we want to play with flanges and that at a later point. You know, so we can ride in a flange on that hat, and
cool. Well,
you know what I'm saying? We'll do that later. Right now we're just trying to get levels.
All right, so let's just get some levels. I'm going to build a little imaging on this for starters without throwing any delays on them. Let's just pan your shaker a little left. We're going to pan the rides or the hats a little to the right, so we can kind of open up the mix a little bit. And then let's see what else we got here to bring in. There's like this whole clap section.
Well, the claps are just for emphasis.
All right, so this is the main body.
I'm trying to keep the rhythms, the percussion super simple. So each one is going to have to like hold its own in a big way.
Okay. All right, so let's just turn up the gain in the room a little bit. There we go. That's about where I like to mix. You know, it's still well under 90 dB in the room, and I can always check my meter to make sure we're not listening too loud. But
that's way below 90 dB.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was saying. Well below 90 dB in the room here.
77.
What do you think? That's 77? 64. All right, well, let's find out. We got our dB meter pro in the room, and not bad. We're peaking at 80 here.
Okay, cool.
All right, that's about where we like to be when we mix. All right, cool. Alright, so now we got kind of the body of our drums in here. I'm going to start to mess around with adding a little bit of color. But before we do that, let's get our bass in here, just get a relative sense to how this bass is going to play out in here. And I'm going to bring in the other bass track. That snare really jumps out in here. Do we want to cut that and kind of treat it separately, or is that feeling right to you?
It's feeling right to me.
Okay. Let's just check.
I like it having dynamics. Yeah, I like it having dynamics.
Okay, cool. So what we might want to do on the whole drum group right now is let's do a little bit of glue compression.
Sounds good. Which one do you use?
Well, we can use the Ableton glue, or you know what I'm really loving a lot right now are the Arturia processors with some of the compressors in there. So maybe we could A/B a little bit of that.
Yeah, let's do that. Which Arturia?
So let's go up here. And
the Antares?
No, not Antares. Sorry, that was my bad. Arturia. We're going Arturia here. And there's some really nice compressors in here, particularly this tube station or the VCA 65, the diode. The FET I like, but I like that a lot on vocals. Let's take a look. Let's see what we got here. We can kind of compare these two here and compare their sound. These have a nice, warm sound. Actually, you know what? I don't want to use that one. I already was playing with that yesterday. I know what I like. I want to use this guy here. And get these drums kind of pumping a little bit. There we go. So we've got this guy. Has a vintage feel to it. And it's got some nice presets as well. So let's first hear it with the stock Ableton plug here. Let's listen to this glue compressor. And give it a little.
Do you have all the drums on a bus?
I do, yeah.
Okay, cool.
So we got the drums on a bus. So what we're doing is setting up some bus compression.
Okay, I didn't see that.
On the drum bus.
Sounds good.
And there's two ways we can do this. I like using parallel compression, and you can do the parallel compression right here using the dry wet balance right here. So we'll take a look at that. This is not something we're necessarily going to sidechain, so I don't have to worry about the sidechain on this. And I really just want to use the color of the glue compressor. So we're going to give it fairly fast over squash our our transients on this.
Yeah.
Because with the drums, it's nice to have. We want to have those transients be pretty cool. So I don't want to, I'm going to do a slightly slower attack on this, and a little bit of a slower release as well for starters. And we might tighten up the release depending. So let's check it out. Super squashed here. We're going to bring it back. There we go. No more than about 3 dB, I'd say, here. Okay. Gain reduction. And this is fully compressed. And then a little parallel action here.
Gotcha.
Now we can get a little makeup gain on those peaks. And you can see I'm going to hit the soft flip here. Gives it a little bit more warmth. Mm-hmm. All right. Now, so that's our glue compressor.
Gotcha.
Let's check out. Ooh, that's pretty punchy.
It is.
There you go. That's our Arturia here, and that was just with the their kick preset in here. So let's take a look at what's going on with this. I'm gonna turn the volume down in the room just to explain a little what's going on. So we're seeing just a nice little bit of gain reduction here. It's not too heavy, although this is in limiters off. Output gains up a little bit. We've got a 4-to-1 compression ratio, and our threshold here is at -10, which seems to be working really nicely, actually, right out the gate.
It's similar to what we had on the glue.
Yeah, similar to what we had on the glue, but it just feels a little beefier.
Way beefier.
Way beefier. And we can kind of control that parallel compression by adjusting the mix here so that it's not full-on compressed. But what's going on that we do have to be careful of is our levels. So I always want to check this out because now we're all way up at -9, because we've added some gain here. So I'm going to back off on the output here of my drum mix just to get us back down a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So we're not blowing out our levels because with the EQ and the compression adding gain, we want to back this off a little bit. And there we go. Let's see where we're at now. Still a little hot, still a little too hot. Let me turn up the volume in the room. Bring up that reverb a little here on the return. Let's see what's going on with the bass right now. I'm going to pull the drums out a second and see where our gain is with these with the bass tracks. Yeah, not bad. Short terms at -20. There we go.
Can you take off a bit of the what's it called, the on the new bass sound?
Yeah.
Take off a little bit of the not the attack, the opposite of the attack.
Decay?
The decay.
Yeah, let's listen to that. So yeah, it's definitely, I was messing around with that earlier.
Maybe it's got a delay. I don't know if it's got a delay on it or
No,
it's
it's got a little decay. It definitely has some decay. You can see it right here.
Yeah.
So here's the decay. We can tighten that up. We can also, it's got a lot of sustain. Right?
It was sounding nice and fat with some of that sustain. Maybe it's the release that we need to bring down. It's not the decay.
Gives it a little more staccato at the end.
Yeah,
there, huh?
Go halfway between where you were. Okay, cool.
Right?
Yeah.
I like the tone on this though. It's got a nice edgy feel that mixes nicely with the bass that you've got up in here. And here's the two together. I think we could bring that level down a little, bring this guy up a little. There is a little delay.
Is there a delay on it? Yeah, turn the delay off.
Yeah, there's definitely a little bit of delay on there.
It's that top.
Oh, the analog delay. So here, there's a whole. Yeah, we can just take that out.
That's better.
And that's just nice and clean, right? Yeah. That's pretty cool. Nice. So there's the original bass. Add that guy in there. Not bad. Okay.
Do we need to group those and compress them?
Yeah, well, we certainly can group them. What I like about grouping the bass together is as we build the mix, we'll be able to kind of adjust the bass level as a group. Because, you know, we want these two to mix together and get a nice tone out of them. And then with the bass group, we'll be able to adjust them relative to the whole mix.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's check that out. So I'm making a bass group here out of these two guys. And then we can also kind of glue them together, kind of like what we were doing with the drum bus.
Yeah.
You know, we can kind of throw, matter of fact, let's try that same compressor on the group here. The bass group, hear what that sounds like here. And there's some good presets here I like to start with. And then, you know, maybe a bass amp tone. Whoa. Got some serious distortion on that one, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of cool, but I don't think right for this track. Yeah, that's a lot cleaner. Gives us the original sound, but still has a nice little coloration to it that this guy brings.
I like it.
Yeah, it sounds kind of cool. Compressed. All right, output gain. We're just hitting a little bit, so we can flip between output here and input. So our levels are looking healthy. Yep. We definitely got some headroom on the output if we want it to bring just to drive it a little harder, you know?
Right.
Yeah. And then we can see the gain reduction here. Yeah. Just drive it. There we go. We're getting above threshold here. Sounded pretty good. I like that. Now we can EQ that and probably make that pretty fat sounding. Of course, look again what it's doing to our meters down here.
Yeah.
So now we can take the group and just back it off.
Right.
We got the fatness, so we don't need that much juice in the mix. Keep our pipes open. And let's add the drums back into that, see what that sounds like here.
It's working good.
Yeah, not bad. And our meters are looking okay, kind of healthy here. We're a little bit hot, but not bad. I would say we can bring our bass level down just a hair more right now. Bring the bass group down a bit.
Are you doing that by ear or by level?
I'm doing it by ear and level in here. Yeah. Because we still got a lot to add to this mix, you know, so we got a good ways to go here. So pretty cool. And we haven't even, you know, added any EQ to that bass yet, but it's pretty fat already.
It sounds great.
Sounds great. So why fuck with a good thing? Whoop.
Yeah.
Did I say that?
You didn't say anything.
I didn't say anything. All right, so let's keep adding. As we grow, we'll be able to decide how we want to really do any time-based processing and effects.
Right.
I'm going to turn down the room so we don't bleed too much on the mic here right now. Where do you want to go next? What would you like to add?
You know, if we went to a different section, just in terms of getting balance going, if we go to V2,
okay,
and then there's one additional arpeggiator that's going to be playing in the same range as the bass sounds.
Yeah.
Let's get that arpeggiator working.
Okay, sounds good. So we're going to jump over here to 3, which is, that's the break. I'm going to hit 4, that's going to go to V2.
And there should be an arp somewhere.
And I think it's going to be down here. Let's find that guy. He's right. It's going to be, is it in the synths? Or no, it's down below. It's this guy right here, right?
Yeah.
There's 2. There's a synth pulse and an arp here.
Yeah, both of those we're going to get working.
Okay, let's get this pulse in there.
Its balance is pretty good as far as being distinct from the bass, but maybe just need to look at some frequencies where they hit.
Okay, let's take the drums out for a second. Just out of curiosity, I just want to hear this guy on its own. Right, it's pretty thick, right? We might want to thin that up a little, just thin that out a little bit. We could even play with a little delay on this guy, I would think. But what do you think?
I don't think delays.
No?
I think I pulled out the sub frequencies. It didn't sound bad to me.
Okay. Well,
I just wanted to make sure.
We can see where it's kind of bouncing most. You can see that there's a big peak here at 200.
So you want to just pull that down?
I think I would pull that down just a little bit. Just drop it down, and then bring up some of the clickiness of the high end on it.
Sounds good.
Let's just sweep it to kind of hear. Because, you know, the best thing to do is you give yourself an exaggerated
Are you looking
sense.
for the resonance?
Yeah.
To keep it or to move it out?
I think we could keep it.
I think we
and
keep
exaggerate it a little
Yeah.
bit. Maybe just thin down that bandwidth up here a little. Right?
Yeah.
And what's cool about the Q3 that I like is we can make this dynamic. So
Oh,
that
you
it's-
can?
Yeah, you can actually turn your EQ node into a mini frequency-based compressor here.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and you can see where it's going to give you that gain reduction on the low end here,
Yeah.
right? So it kind of breathes a little bit. I find that to be phenomenally cool for this kind of stuff.
Oh, nice. I didn't know about that feature. What do you have to hit to? You hit the button?
I'm just
right-click,
right-clicking
and
right
you
here,
move to...
right? And it says clear dynamic or make dynamic now
Oh,
that I've added
sweet.
it.
Okay.
So if I add it to a module here, I can say make dynamic.
Okay.
And again, that'll make this, you can see it'll add a gain here where it's showing you the gain reduction at what frequency and the cue of that guy right there. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Let's hear what it's doing with the other pulse here. So that's the sidechain feel.
Yeah, that's the side chain. So that's there's several pad synth sidechain. Well, pad synth. I just want at this point I'm borrowing your ears to see how to place that because
Okay.
I don't know where it's.
Let's see how that's playing with the bass. And the drums, for that matter. Let's kind of bring them together just to get a relative mix going. Yeah,
Sounds right.
sounds pretty cool. I think I would want a little bit of EQ on this guy too.
Hit it.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll. I mean, you've already got a good roll off going.
I
here.
do a lot of rolling,
Yeah.
like intense, like
Yeah.
what's it called, cliff rolling.
When you see this pulsing here,
Yeah.
I'd like to get a little bit more of that going in here.
Okay.
You know what would be fun here is just to do a little auto filtering on it, possibly.
What do you mean?
All right, let's check this out here.
Oh, it has a filter, an auto filter in it.
Does it? Yeah, I can hear it already. I'd love to just maybe bring that out a little more.
Yeah, go
Right? I
ahead.
could just throw a little.
Although it's like for us to try to do that now on top of it already happening might fight what's already happening.
Ah,
You know what I'm
okay. Yeah.
Don't worry about the auto filter for now. If anything,
All right, we'll just bypass that for
yeah.
now. Okay. And one of my favorite tricks is to tie that to an LFO and have it pulse in time. But you've already got it pulsing, so yeah. Maybe carve it out a little bit.
Yeah. Take some nuts out.
Take some of that out of there. Maybe narrow that down. Maybe even just change the shape of this guy to a high shelf. Something like this. Let's check that out. Now, as far as balance between these two go, which is the dominant? The one above?
Are we talking about the
Between the two
arpeggiator?
yeah. Because I'm kind of already losing that arpeggiator here.
I don't think we're losing it, but it would be the arc that would be more dominant than the string pulse. And there are other synths that are going to come in. There's
Yeah, we've got
There's
a whole section of those coming down here. These synth transitions and what else?
There's also a pad. Let's just see if we can find that.
Pad?
I forget what it's called. I'll have to look up. Let's just scroll up and see.
This guy right here? It's in this synth group. Here's our whole other synth group here.
I can't
I can bring it in.
really tell. I don't know. We're not going to deal with those yet. No.
Okay. So which one?
There's.
Oh, maybe this group here. Oh, no, that's the one I was saying. Sorry.
Let's go further. Oh, there we are, I think.
There's your shakers. That's all your drums.
Dude, everything's named weirdly. Where's my names? Okay, so it's not
intro.
that. We're not doing the intro just yet.
Okay.
Let's just go. It's like an angel synth. Why is everything called that?
This is the synth group right here.
It should be a
Choir?
choir.
Is that it right here?
Yeah, so let's get to the choir part.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, this needs to be like
Big,
majestic.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, first thing we can do is just do some gain adjustments
Yeah.
on the track. Yeah. Okay. And then, seems to me we could put a little bit of pro Q on this guy. I can see how you do sculpt the heck out of this stuff.
I
right?
get rid of all the low
Yeah,
end.
yeah.
I don't get rid of mud. I get rid of low end.
Right, which is great. You know, we'll just keep emphasizing that.
You're gonna need to change the loop because it doesn't play the whole time.
Right, I see it. Okay, so we're just going to shift the loop up a little
Or
bit.
we could
here.
move back to V1.
Oh, yeah,
either
let's
way.
go back here. Right here, right?
I don't think the beat's in there.
Well, we're
where
just,
V1,
we're just going
where
to kind
V1
of get
starts.
this so it sits right, right?
Cool.
Let's check this out. Maybe in this case we're going to thin the low end,
Yeah.
make it more ethereal sounding.
Yeah. Hey, I'll be back in a second.
Sure. So let's just shape this guy here. A little high shelving. Give this some air. Take out some of those double spikes here. Maybe try another little glue compressor on this guy. Yeah, let's do a little bit of... let's try some of that Valhalla in here. This could sound really nice with some shimmer on it. Take a listen to that. See where that's sitting relative to the rest of this mix now. And with the drums, let's just get the drums back in the mix here. Oh, it's a lot bigger now. We're going to want to tuck it back a little bit. Let's do that with the bass now. Yeah, it's a lot.
What did I miss?
Yeah, it's done. We're done, man.
Sounds great.
So I put a little shimmer on there with some Valhalla.
Sweet.
Make it sounding just a little more ethereal.
Nice.
I gave it a little bit of glue compression and a little bit of EQ.
Sweet.
And it's got a nice floaty kind of big feel to it. We got plenty of gain opportunity here if we want to add more, but we thickened up the waveform itself.
Cool.
So it seems to be having a nice feel to it. Let's keep going.
Let me
Where should
think,
we
what
go?
other elements?
Let's see. So.
If we're gonna play with like if we're still in percussion zone, there are all these FX
Let's
that
take a look at those.
almost have a high and all that stuff there.
All this stuff right here.
Let's see how that sits with the shaker and.
All right, take a look at that. Starting here at about V1.
Yeah.
So let's go from V1 to the break here,
Okay.
because those are some nice transitions too, right?
Yeah.
So take it all the way out here. All right, you've already got some nice stereo stuff going on with this.
I have fun with my stereo.
So we do, you know what we could do over here is
What?
a little picture in picture. I'll do the picture in picture, and then we
I
can put
think
this.
it's this one. Is it this
Do
one?
this one, then. Let's do that one right here,
Okay, and
and then do like one of our face on picture in picture.
is that how it works? I'm not sure if that's how it works. I don't know how to get the picture in picture. Still black.
Oh, we're on.
There you go.
There you go. That's on.
On. Hey.
Okay, we're having fun now. So, are all of these going to be stereo? They all have. We don't want to pan these at all, right? They're all
I
stereo.
think they're all doing their
They're
thing
already
already.
doing their
Yeah.
thing. Okay.
But they sound like they're not interfering with the hats or the shaker.
All right. Let's just pull the
We
drum.
could just keep them in there until they start annoying us.
Okay. All right. Cool. So we'll keep them in there. Where's that? That's a new element we're gonna start to see now here.
Yeah, where is that thing? It just comes in once or twice.
That was right back here. A nice little vocal element there.
I'm not sure where it is in this thing. Is it
Is it this guy right here? Sam Cooke? No, he's not in.
Everything says Sam Cooke on it. That's why. How did I do that naming?
I think it's this guy. It's in the synth. It looks like it's in the synth pulse track. If
That's
I'm
it?
not. Right. See?
Oh,
So
yeah.
It's in that track right
So
there.
that'd just be.
Okay.
Okay. So, if we're gonna dig into an important part of the song is the actual yell, the ooh yeah hey.
Oh yeah.
So let's get that sounding just like beautiful.
That's on the outro right here, isn't it?
I think it's a few
All
different
a
times
few
in
different
here.
times. So we got two of them right here in V2. Let's just hear what's going on with those two right here. Right
Let's
here.
Yeah, let's work on that. Let's work on that being big and beautiful and
Right.
burly.
Where do you see that sitting? Is that stereo pan the way you want it right now?
It's not stereo. I mean, it's not panned. Let's
Well,
just make
right
it
now
louder.
it's center. It looks like it's heavier on the right than the left. We can see that in the waveform here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I don't think that's. I think that's just the recording was that way. I don't think it was intentional.
Well, that just tells me it's stereo to
Okay.
a degree, right?
Okay.
Because there's some kind of imaging going on
Mhm.
here. And let's just hear it. Let's just hear it clean on its own for a second. I'm going to unsolo all of these guys right here. Just for now. And let's, so we're going to take out all these effects we've been building in solo. And let's just hear we can hear it just repeating down here for a second. So it's got a little
so
delay
I got the
on it.
verbs and delays.
So that's
I think-
kind of baked into it already.
Yeah,
So there's
I think it sounds good. I think we just need to get it loud and then just make sure there are no frequencies that are too resonant.
Okay. And what would it be competing with here? Let's take a listen.
I don't know that it would. This is not the right place to listen to
Yeah, I get it. Right.
Yeah.
We'll go back over here. I'm just hearing the repeat. Here with the bass again and the synth. What are the other elements here? So really this synth pulse is going to be the main competing element. So with the Q3, yeah, I think we're doing the right thing by pulling this down here and kind of carving space for that yell up in there. And then let's take a look at, just repeat that a little bit. We've got a second here to give us a little more.
I think we can just give it some decibels.
Give it some more juice. Yeah, we got a lot of juice to go here. Alright, tune that up a little bit.
Yeah, let's have it hot like that.
Like that?
Yeah.
Do you want to add any more air to it or just leave it the way it is?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I think as we build the mix, we'll know. You know, as we get everything else rocking in here. So, what's the art, this guy right underneath it here?
Oh, that's from the original recording. That's another thing we need to pay attention to.
Okay, so what are we doing with this guy? Get a little more gain going on this guy.
You'll see how I've chopped it up in ways so it's different in different places. We just got to find a nice. We just got to find a nice way to have it be recognizable. It's atmospheric, but it has an energy to it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah, maybe we add some color to it,
Yeah.
just with a little bit of.
Can you add some green and purple?
Why not? Let's try a little green and purple here, man. I haven't tried all of these EQs, so I'm just curious to see what they do. Let's take a listen to this guy here. Let's give it a little bit of
Excitement.
You want to give it some excitement? I was gonna like add width. You know, that's one thing we haven't gotten into, any kind of mid-side processing.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I mean, just try a few. I don't know what it's going to do.
Let's just brighten it up here for starters. So this has a mid-side component to it, you can see here. So if we go mid-side on this guy, let's see what... Yeah, that's kind of cool. You know, let's do this. I'm gonna bypass that guy a second. Let's go with a regular EQ8 on here. Curious. Go mid-side on that.
Yeah, we can see that it has some low frequencies that could maybe go bye-bye.
And then let's turn this guy here. Yeah. That's just easier to use.
Yeah, and just know we're listening to a loop of that part, so if we were to listen somewhere else, it's going to have different... We got to zoom out so that I can, like in here or back in there, you'd hear more of a range.
Let's check this out here.
You can just play it from V1.
V1 here?
Yeah.
All right.
There's just a lot of atmosphere in this song.
Yeah.
And the leads only come in later.
Okay. So speaking of atmosphere, why don't we just touch on the intro for now?
Okay.
See what that's looking like.
If we're gonna touch on the intro, that's get the intro going.
That's good because I want to hear how how it transitions into the groove from this, because I know this is kind of this is the emotional piece of it, right? That kind of, or I guess the more atmospheric.
Yeah, like this is let's figure out the dynamics of the levels.
Going
now
into
that
the track.
now that we know where the kick and the snare are,
Yeah.
like that, we might have to just bring all of that up.
All of this here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's take these one at a time just so I can familiarize myself with it.
So we just got a percussion element there as an intro, and then we've got a kind of like a piano, we've got a string, and then there's a...
So I'm going to bring these guys up a little here.
Cool.
In the mix just so I can see them next to each other. Let's just do this right here. There we go, right here. There we go. Now we got both these pieces going together here. So this is the first piece of it.
That's just the percussion, yeah. It's just...
Give that a little bit, and then we're gonna thicken that up a little bit. Yeah. Seems like we could make that even more ethereal sounding, potentially.
Do it.
So I'm just trying to hear what we got here. And then there's one last string line down here you got?
Yeah.
What is that one doing?
Wait, maybe one of them is a groove. This is a groove, so turn off the groove if you're gonna use all these other things.
Which ones? Those
See
are
where it
pre-mixed?
says GR?
Oh, is that pre-mixed?
That's the group of these three.
Okay. All right.
So we can turn that off.
I got you. Yeah, I hear it now. Okay. Let's turn that one off. Just hide that guy for now.
Yeah. So it's actually just these two elements, and then the bass component comes in.
Okay. Just curious to hear what that bass component is. So it's like a sustain?
Yeah. Which will lead into the actual bass line.
Got it. Okay. And that's going to drop into our main bass right here coming up.
Right.
Okay, yeah. Cool. Yeah, let's hear that again.
Except the bass isn't soloed.
Right. No, let's just do this first part first. Let me turn that up a little. Thin that up a little bit, just a hair on the percussion there.
So just what you're going to notice now is the level of this intro part may be too loud compared to the ethereal, that thing.
To the choir?
The choir, sorry, the choir. Yeah.
Which one?
So the choir, I think the whole intro part now is too loud, just relative to the choir.
Okay,
So just pull
break
it
the
all.
whole thing down.
Yeah, I think
That's the beauty of the groups. Yeah. Do you want to add any bounce to that percussion, or are we good the way it is?
I think we're good how it is.
Okay.
It's almost.
You know, I love playing with delays.
It's just it's just ambience.
Yeah, that's all good.
And it's a mixing signature for
yeah.
DJ.
Yeah.
So now, if we're going to be listening to something, it's like how the beat comes in at 41.
So let's extend our loop now. All right, and then we're gonna bring the drums in and the bass with this.
I don't think the bass comes in at 41. I think the bass comes in at 57.
And then the bass is gonna drop right here at 57. But we're gonna listen out to the break, so we'll hear the whole thing come together here now. Missing anything else in the intro right now? That's it. Now, is there a transition element that takes us?
There isn't. It's just the kick just comes
drops
in.
Like that?
It just drops. So it's a question of like.
Because you got all these great transition elements here.
I know we can.
You want to throw something up in the front there?
We could do that.
It might be cool. So something actually transitions us in there. Is there anyone in particular that
you choose? Got to those synths yet.
Yeah, I know. I'm just listening to this. I just want to hear these little transitions here.
At this point, you might not need solos. You could just kind of.
Yeah, I'm taking them out right now. I'm gonna pull it. I like to just, as we mix in groups, but we're getting to that point now where we don't really need to do that. We can start using the mutes instead. That seems like a lot, like maybe we just, maybe what we do is we mute this guy. What's this guy over here?
That's not what, you don't want to use that. That's more energy.
Okay. So I'm thinking maybe one of these guys over here. Or these guys? What about the effects down here? I think this is what we're listening to right here. These guys right here.
I got a feeling there's a group.
Is it a pre-baked group here?
I can't. It looks like.
Well, no, because there's something different here.
I can't tell.
You want to solo those and hear it?
We're just looking for like a. That
right there.
Yeah,
that's it right there. That's all we need right there. Copy that. Pop that over here.
Yeah.
I think we just popped that like right here. And that gives us the transition we need, and then just pull this guy back out right here. Right?
It just needs to go
a little lower. Yeah. So we'll just do this. Still feels a little abrupt, and maybe put a little reverb tail on it.
Yeah, put a reverb or a delay.
Yeah, we could do that. Let's throw a little delay on that, and I would like, in this case, we could throw like a super fun delay I like to play with, which is the H delay. One of my favorites. I'm going to add that H delay stereo.
I like the H delay.
Yeah, let's make a new one here. Time bass. Let's add that to favorites. Let's drop that in on this guy right here.
That sounds good.
And we're synced to eighth note here. We can, obviously we can change that. Eighth note dotted. Should we go triplet?
I always do the 8 dots, I think.
I think the eighth dot's pretty cool. It sounded pretty cool anyway.
Yeah. That's fine.
And then let's just back it off so it's not all wet.
Yeah, that works.
Now we do have to be careful of what it's going to do up here, but I think it's going to work nice on these other ones too. So we don't have to automate it out or anything. It sounds cool. Let's see how we feel. Yeah. I got to take a quick pee break.
Hit it.
I'll be right back.
Okay. bass was off. I was like, why am I- There were things that were off, and I'm finding the things that were off.
Okay,
See what else we can do. We need to find those claps.
cool. Okay.
You want? I think the claps.
These guys right here.
That's the
So there's the 808 kick that
Mhm.
we haven't gotten to yet,
Yeah.
and then the big clap sections.
I think that's these claps here.
So let's
yeah.
bring those in now.
Okay, cool.
And then there's also, you got a clap verb.
Yeah,
Goes with
that's
that.
just a single clap. That's good.
Okay. And
Yeah.
other than that, yeah, those are the only elements we have.
Okay, so the claps should be
yet.
coming in like fire now. They should be too hot because look at them.
Those are pretty darn hot.
Yeah,
So let's
so-
just tame that waveform a little bit.
Yeah.
Could just do a little clip bass gain here. Trim them down a little bit. They're definitely coming in hot. Let's hear it.
They can be hotter than that.
Okay, cool.
They weren't. They should be hot.
Well, we also have the
Yeah.
volume.
Just bring them up like at least 4 dB.
Okay, yeah, all right, here we go. Yeah.
Yeah. That's better. Just hear the other clap coming out. That reverb. Those could be louder.
Let's bring those up about 4 dB too.
Relatively sounds good.
All right.
Okay.
Let's take a look at that 808 for a second, because
Mhm.
that's obviously a big component to this.
It's the breakdown, yeah.
Breakdown here. It's got a lot of decay, and
Sounds good to me.
let's check that out. As we transition here into this break, let's take a listen. A lot of clickiness in there. Let's hear that relative to the other drums now. A little bit of our EQ favorites in here. Q3, this would be great for some of that dynamic processing on the low end. Let's do this. Let's shape this and do a low cut. Make that dynamic. Nice.
Fatty.
Let me take a little bit of that top end off. What else is going on?
Okay, so
with
here,
that?
what's going on with the breakdown?
Yeah. we missing
Okay.
anything, or is that everything?
It's everything. So let me tell you what I'm kind of going for here.
Okay, let's talk about that. Let's talk about what are you going?
What am I going for?
Yeah.
Okay, so baseline. I mean, this breakdown is a descent into this melody coming in for the first time. That's going to hit when this bass.
Oh yeah.
But it's
So we
very
really
light.
want that. We want that a little more up front.
Yeah, we
though.
want that a little
We
bit
want
more
this to be more spatial.
But take off the loop so I can just show you what it's doing as far as spatialness and so what we're looking for is to descend into this, and now we want to introduce this melody as if it's in the distance, but it's two in the distance right now. Just keep it, let it play. Okay. And now it's gonna play its counterparts. It's gonna come in right now.
This is in the synth.
Right.
Oh, I see.
You see what I mean?
Okay, yeah.
So, this is the group of these two, it seems.
Here, let's show that group on the screen here.
So that needs to
this
be
group right
huge. Like when this part comes in here,
Uh-huh.
and when these come in, that just needs to be fucking the hugest thing going on. That's the
Okay.
lead.
Right. All right, so let's hear what it sounds like coming into the break right now. 'Cause the clap kind of transitions us into there. Seems like that reverb clap could have a lot more impact too.
Yeah,
coming
just
into
make it
there.
louder.
Let's just make that a little bit louder here. Okay. Yeah. You know, it might be cool. Have you thought about maybe like doing a reverse of that and leaving it underneath so that tail kind of goes?
Do it.
Yeah, we could
Let's
kind of
do
try
it.
that. Let's duplicate that track. I'm going to duplicate it and then just take this guy here and do Command R. Let's see what happens here. Oh, is it going to reverse the whole track? I think it is. I should have cut it first. Oop, let's undo that. Let's do this. This could be kind of cool. Let's just trim this guy up here, just so we're not dealing with so much audio. This is the fun of having stems, of course, in here.
It didn't reverse yet.
No, I know. We haven't reversed it yet. We're going to just take this guy right here, and we're going to say undo. Is it Command R? No.
It's they've changed it down here. It's this thing.
Right. This guy right here.
Yeah.
I think it's just rebuilding the waveform.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'll
it just
take a
I
second.
did it. So it was Command R. It just takes a second to
Yeah.
rewrite it. Yeah, there it
Right.
is. There it is. So now you can see it. So what I was thinking we'd do is this, right? Kind of tail one into the other. Wait, I didn't want to
It
do
hit
that.
0 by mistake.
There we go. Something like this. Could even maybe pull it out a little. Let's change the grid setting here. And we can just move it back just a hair here.
It's a little bit too much.
But we just bring the volume down on it.
Yeah, okay.
Just bring the volume. That's just it.
It'll be fine.
Do that again over here.
There's more. There's something else that's muted. I gotta find it.
Okay. I think it's these transitions down here. This guy right here,
all
right?
of that.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's check that out.
Just give it lift off,
Okay.
so that could be louder.
We could automate that too if it comes up if we want.
Yeah, I just want it to be energy at this point, like lift, 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 lift.
Okay. What if we have some delays going on this guy here, right?
Give it a shot. I mean, yeah, let's see if it
I mean, we
works.
could do a couple of things with this. We could automate the volume so it builds over time, as well as grow and swell the delay into it.
If you have a way to do the grow swell, the delay, let me hear what that sounds.
Sure. Why don't we do that? Let's.
Although that, I just don't want it to be like too much of a feedback on the delay, so it loses its. Just show me what you think. What
Okay.
you're thinking.
Yeah. So let's insert a return track here, and we can do it here on this return. So we'll put on return D here. Why don't we add an H delay? So we can do another plug-in here. We'll go with another H delay right here. We're going to pop this in here, right? And then rather than leaving that on all the time, having it on the return, we can automate the send on it. Right, so let's just try that here. So I'll flip this into automation, and we're going to go mixer, and see there's the delay stereo. So we'll bring it all the way down, and let's just have it grow to the end, kind of a climactic
Okay, let's see how
kind
that
of
works.
thing. And then, so we're showing the automation, turn that off. Let's look at the H delay. So we're locked to 124 BPM. Still in 8. I might want longer delays time. I don't know. Let's just give this a little bit.
Sounded alright.
Oh, kind of cool, huh? Give a little extra feedback. In this case, we want it to be 100% wet. A lot of feedback. Maybe turn that down a little bit here. We could even have it ping pong a
Sure,
little
let's
bit.
get
Yeah, that sounds cool. And then also, while we're at it, we'll do a little save. And then maybe a little volume automation on this would be pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Right, so let's go to, we can show some volume automation at the same time here. Let's start with it a little bit lower, and then we'll kind of make it climax out here too. Try that about, see how that sounds.
Although it just has a different quality at the beginning than later. If anything, it needs to be louder at the beginning.
Oh, okay.
Like it should be, and then it gets louder,
Even louder still here.
and then comes back to its regular level over there.
Got
You know
it.
what I mean? So
Okay. So louder like this, kind of
yeah,
louder?
yes.
And
Let's
then
see.
come down here about here.
Yeah, let's see if that works.
Okay, let's check that out. With the delay kind of swelling. Now we can also throw a little utility in here and give it a little extra gain. And also give it a little extra width. Kind of cool. Maybe a little too much.
It's just what happens when that peak part happens. It sounds good here. It sounds good.
Just and maybe not drop it quite so soon.
Sound natural.
Yeah. Now, does that happen again? What's going on down here? That might be a little loud now.
That's the same thing as that. So if you just want to bring that automation, yeah.
I got you. Okay. So something like that.
Yeah.
And let's also look at
That sounds great.
yeah, and we still have the send here. So there's that same send level.
And then let's not get into that part. I mean, we could get into it, but
Here.
there's all these other synths going on that we haven't really got to.
Okay. Well, let's start. Yeah, we want to start getting to those guys.
Yeah, let's get into
Let's
those.
just because we kind of left our intro in the dust a minute ago.
We did.
I want to kind of just check back on that
Do it.
transition. So let's go back here to the top of the track. And let's just check here as we come out of this intro. Let's just... That second snare is coming in pretty heavy.
In a good way?
I don't know. I don't like it so much, but you seem to really dig it.
Yeah, it's not bothering me.
Okay, cool.
I kind of like it.
Okay,
In
okay.
a weird way. I've been listening to a lot of South African music, and like there's this one DJ Shimza, and it's working for me in a Shimza kind of way. See, it's lifting up nicely now. And then this needs to settle, and now we're getting to the synth part of it. The intro sounded good to me. So when that boom comes in, you're gonna hear the pads. That little thing over there,
This guy right
whatever's going on there. See, you might want to just solo. I mean, mute that. When there's a G in front, it's a group, so
Okay.
everything else exists. We
All right,
don't
so
need
let's
that.
take
there.
that guy out then.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. So that's your pre-mixed group there.
Yeah, it's just the
All right,
group.
so let's pull that out. And
So-
let's just listen.
Now we can just
Wait a minute. I don't understand that. If that's the case,
Mhm.
oh, I see. This is
Is
the
the group.
pre-mix group right here.
Yeah.
And that's the synth that kicks it off right here.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So this guy right here. So let me just get us out of automation view, because I think what we could do with this track just a wee bit, it's just give it a little more clip bass gain here
Mm-hmm.
to help us bring it out on that intro section there. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. Here we are, we're right here. All right, here we go.
It's off. It's muted.
Of course it is.
there should be, maybe it's, I'm not, just go back to the group that you turned off. Can you just solo the group that you turned off?
Sure.
Because I think there's a different sound in there. Yeah. And, okay, so let me just think what the hell's going on now, because this is all, we had this all earlier here.
And if I just listen to the one without the group.
Yeah, it's a different sound.
Oh, yeah. It's missing something, definitely.
Then what is there more lower down?
No, I was looking for that.
Okay, I guess there isn't. So we need to just
Keep that group in.
keep the group,
Okay.
which is fine because
Yeah.
this is the main.
Yeah.
We need this to come in heavy.
Okay, cool.
Okay. But what is this here?
I don't know. Let's take a look. Want to take a listen to that?
Yeah.
All right.
It's the choir.
That's the choir.
Okay, so
Seems like those want to be on different tracks.
isn't it somewhere else? It should be the
Because we're
choir
not really
should,
doing anything other.
but we EQ'd the choir somewhere else. It's duplicated somewhere else. Let's just,
Okay.
remember
Yeah,
so
I
that's-
do remember that. Yeah.
it's that.
It's this one, right? No, that's
No.
the ARP.
Okay, then
There's your
another.
ARP section, and I think it's in the intro here, isn't it?
It's not
No?
an intro.
Okay.
Just keep going.
Oh, there it is. The choir.
Yeah.
Right here, Raincry choir.
So we
Yeah, because that's where we
did all the
EQ'd
EQ.
that, and we added some Valhalla to
Right.
it, right?
so it's a little confusing now because we have this group.
I love that shimmer. Look at you. Cool.
We have this group that
Mhm.
is doing. We don't need the choir part there. I don't. Maybe we do. Just leave it there. It's not annoying me.
Okay, well, leaving it would be this.
And off.
I took it off. Yeah, we don't need it.
Okay, just get rid of that.
Just get rid of
And then we'll need whatever happens here.
it. Alright, so now let's listen to this.
It's off.
Yeah.
Now let's just hear how loud this part comes in now. I say we just. Here's what I think we should do.
Mm-hmm.
See, if this is the choir, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So go higher.
Mm-hmm.
Just take the choir part out of the group there,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mhm.
Just exit out. There you go. Not the whole way there. To halfway. I mean before 153. So up to 153.
Okay. Let's see, right up to here.
From there, yeah.
So right there.
Okay,
to there.
yeah. So that's good. So take that out.
All right, just got to zoom in a little bit. So from right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll take
So
that.
maybe what we do there is just say, didn't mean to do that. Okay. So there is a little lead up to it. So maybe try that.
Yeah,
Just
just
I could put a fade on it. I'm gonna
just
just
hit
Command E and then hit 0.
right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
And then
So
I'm just gonna
that
put a little
helps.
fade on the front of this guy right here.
Okay, sounds
Actually,
good.
let's do this. Because you want it to be right. Let's see. We want to be. I think it's right on there. So I'm gonna turn the grid off. And I'm just going to kind of zoom that up a little bit and then put a little fade on.
Okay, great.
Okay.
So what we want to work on now is this. It's kind of like whether we tackle the one that's called the G synth or the one that's just called this silent 2. We want to make that like fucking huge. We want that to be like noticeable and large and in charge.
Okay, cool. I got one thought. The 808.
Yeah.
You know, part of me like really wants to hear it like decay all the way, like make it almost more like legato.
Okay.
So it decays across each full cycle. See how they're cutting out?
Yeah.
So it's like continuously on.
If you want to find a way to do that, go
Well,
ahead.
the only way I could think of doing
There
it.
is just a reference to, like, there are a few sonic references in here that are people who know my music would connect with the way what it's doing right now.
Okay. We don't have to. We could just time stretch them out so they just kind of hit right
Let's
to
see how
there.
it sounds.
I'm going to give it a shot. Let me just see where they actually cut out here. Yeah, so they cut right there.
Right.
So if we actually just took this here and if we go up in here, I think it's, which one is it here?
I think you need to do it in that other view.
No, you can do it here.
Really?
Yeah, I just want to I want to get the, what is it? Come on. Time stretch tool is... I know should give me a time stretch functionality if I do it in the right spot. Oh, what is that shit? Pissing me off. What's the time stretch one? It's I haven't done this in a minute. Crop, clip, reverse.
I've never done it in this view.
Oh, really?
I can do it in the other view.
No, I know we can do it in this view. I definitely know I can do it in this view. All right, well, we'll come back to this. I'll remember. It'll come back to me. So let's just go work on this section right here.
Okay. So
This is the piece we want to have be huge.
yeah.
Right?
So whatever this is doing in here needs to. Let's just give it some weight. Let's give it too much weight, and then we can roll it back. So that's like, it's almost like that's a shadow of what's coming next. That's like a glimmer of what's going to happen next.
Okay.
So this is where you can get fancy on.
So I'm going to go a little fancy with us on this one. Let's go with the plugin alliance on this guy. And I think what I want to do is do a little mid-side with this on the group. So let's see what we get here. Yeah, this guy's pretty cool.
I love that plugin. I just don't understand it that well.
It's a phenomenal multi-band mastering limiter with mid-side capabilities. So what I want to do here is really excite the top end because it's got an exciter here. So I want to excite the top end, give it a little bit of gain boost here. So let's listen to this.
Don't you have to set the threshold?
Yeah. So this guy over here. Well, the threshold is there if I want to compress it.
Okay.
Right? So you can hear it here. Let's just solo this guy for a second. So I'm just soloing the top frequencies. Right? And then I can add some width to this here. Same with, and this is where more of the saturation element is. So I can bring down the side width here. Where is this guy happening? Right here, right? I'm on the right channel. Yeah, that's it. Okay, just make sure I'm doing this right. There we go. You hear the width on that as we pull that in now? Yeah, you can really, I can narrow that up. You hear that?
Yeah.
And give it a little bit of gain on the output here. So that should have a nice impact.
That's nice.
That's nice, right?
Let's see how now it sounds when it gets larger than life.
I would add some more reverb to this too, potentially.
This one?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about.
Is that what you want? Yeah.
It's too much,
It's
but
too
it's
much, no.
it's what I'm talking about. We're getting there now.
So we can automate that to control it now. So we'll want to automate.
But
the
you see how I
levels in
want to
there.
go from like do a dynamic thing there. It's like,
Yeah.
well, I hear the melody, but it's kind of quiet. But then it's like, fuck, here I am.
Okay. So what if we took the volume on this, the mixer gain here, track volume, and just dipped it down a little bit right here?
Sounds good.
Let's try that. Just so I want to hear it with what it's going to sound like with a little bit of reverb on it.
Sure.
So let's
Valhalla!
should we go back to Valhalla? You want
Halla!
to try that? All right, why not? Because this is so huge and awesome. Let's go with Valhalla Supermassive on this guy. And I think what I want to do here is crank the mix back a little bit.
dip the way you brought down the level on the group doesn't have to come down. Just keep it high.
On this one here, on this guy here?
No, I think you did it on just on the group track. On the group track, you did it.
Yeah, this is all on the group. This is the EQ.
Oh, then
right
I don't know where it was. Didn't you do a plug?
I did. Did we bring it down too much? Yeah. Okay. I think we brought it down a little too much up here. So let's check it out. Here on the mixer. This guy right here.
Yeah. Let's not bring it down. Just leave it up.
Okay.
And then if at the end, if we think it's too high.
Okay.
I just want it to be like. I want it to be.
Oh yeah.
super
Okay.
loud.
Yeah. I got you on it. Yeah. Now what about the snare fill going into it? We could probably bring that up, huh?
Yeah.
So bring this guy right here. And then is there some kind of hit coming out of that?
Maybe is the clap reverb, does it go there as well?
The clap reverb?
There. I saw it there.
This guy right here?
No.
Oh, sorry.
good.
Sorry. Yeah.
Clap reverb is, I think you.
Oh, the reverse one.
Yeah, I don't think you need the reverse one.
Okay,
There's so
let's
much
leave
other
that,
shit
yeah, you're
going
right. Let's
on.
leave that one out. Yeah, let's cut that guy right there. Yeah?
And then
one?
The pad that's kind of like
Bouncing? Oh yeah, the sidechain pad?
Yeah, maybe that one just needs to be louder when the beat comes in.
Cool. So let's close down some of these groups so we can navigate a little easier. And I think that's the effects here. And I think it's going to be synth pulse.
Yeah, synth pulse.
This guy right
so
here.
I think, yeah, that needs to be louder for this section.
Okay. So let's bring that up here. Right.
Let's see.
Too loud?
I don't think so. If you want to play around with something that large, go ahead.
As it comes in that loud, it can be kind of cool.
Yeah, do it. I think the problem here is the choir is playing in that second place
Ooh,
again.
that choir's big now. With tons of reverb on it.
I think it's playing. Let's just hear it. I think it comes in,
Right here. Should we bring that down first? Is that too loud?
Is that
now?
where we had it with the reverb and everything?
Yeah, that's right.
It's too much reverb.
Could be too just the size.
Can you just turn off the reverb so I can hear it? I think it's playing in a second place. Let just mute that. Let me just.
You're right. Let's see. Nope. That's it.
Okay,
Let's hear it
cool.
again.
So whatever's comfortable there for reverb.
Yeah, it just might be a little too loud. I think it is.
But it was fine before, which is weird. See what I mean? Those need to be this big now.
Which one?
It sounds great.
They're pretty big. Yeah. I just want to hear the drums hitting a little bit harder, but yeah. Those are pretty big now.
Yeah.
You don't think that's too big?
Could be too big.
I think.
Reel it back. See how they're playing in two different places? So
Yeah.
maybe this one there could be just a little bit.
There's that one, and then there's this one here.
Turn that one off?
This one?
Yeah.
What is that? Let's drop this one down. Let's just drop the volume down on this guy here.
Yeah.
On this guy right here. Let's just bring that guy down just a bit right here. 3 dB down
nuance now. It's like maybe we need to just spend some time getting the beats back up. You know what I mean? The group of the
That's
beats.
what I was just playing with.
Yeah.
Because I was looking that our levels are all getting a little hot again, so I want to just kind of bring everything back down. So let's just go back here to the overhead. Let's take a look at this with the push. And this way I can just kind of go in and do some quick, easy adjusting to the groups. I'm just going to fold everything down here. Let's just take a look at this here a second. This guy, this guy, this guy.
I haven't left the house much in like 2 weeks. You know, for New Year's Eve gig and then for maybe one other thing. It's so
How
nice
was
to
that
just-
New Year's Eve gig?
It was great.
That place Berber looks amazing.
It was.
Is that a flange on there, on that ride?
Maybe there's a bit of flange, yeah.
find that sweet spot for it, just so it sits nice in the mix. So those oh-ahs, we haven't really treated those or looked at
We
those
haven't,
yet.
but I think they were buried inside another stem.
Mm-hmm. I think so too. So I was just trying to locate those.
I could.
Are those on the no, not on the intro.
I think it was buried in
the synth transitions or the no here it is, probably the effects down here. No, because they start right down here. Here they are. No, this is the synth pulse. So they're mixed together with the synth pulse. We don't have them on their own track?
I could get those two tracks separated if needed.
So they're buried together right in here, right? Because here... probably would be a good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we have the... I could just grab them right here because I have your drive mounted, right? So all we got to do is add a folder, pull it in off of your drive, right?
I don't know if I have
Is
them in the stems. I need to create that stem.
So we'd have to open the original session?
I don't know where... I'd need to listen to know what stem it is. You're not just going to find it named, vocal.
It's not going to be sitting in this stems folder, huh?
It would, but we're going to have to dig for it.
In here?
But then we're going to need two different stems. We're going to need... Yeah, let me locate it in here. Let me have my hard drive and I'll find them.
See, this is one of those moments, folks, where it's great to have the original session and be able to dig in and find what you need.
For shizzle.
All right, well, let's see if I can drop that drive here.
So, one thing to me, and I don't know this room, you know this room, is we put...
It's a little boomy in the back of the room.
Right, I was going to say,
so
we put
that's why, if you're... This is the sweet spot.
Yeah,
we're
we put some
right here.
bump onto the kick, and now I'm hearing the kick and the bass just being in the same thing, but it's because I'm sitting
in the back of the room.
Yeah.
It's got a little bit of a bass bump trap back there, so you got to kind of come up here and feel the right spot in the mix. Yeah. Okay, I dropped your drive.
Okay, let me grab that.
Yeah. That's why I can't wait to start doing these mixes back in Studio A. We just have the camera set up in here, but the sound system back there is phenomenal, and we're going to be putting an Atmos system in there soon too.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I got to find this.
All right, while you're doing that, I'm just going to kind of back up here to the intro again, just to hear how this is feeling right now.
Sequences.
kind of nice, huh? A little tape delay
On the which?
on the ooh yeah.
Oh, cool. That's great.
This is the Arturia tape delay. See what it sounds like. Now with that snare fill, I'd love to automate a little volume on that too, coming into that.
Okay.
Let's check that out over here.
On the quiet, can you have less
Reverb? Yeah, sure. It's that it's that Valhalla that's going on
I know, just
for fucking ever. Okay.
it doesn't even need that much reverb.
Yeah, yeah, okay, cool. Alright, we can do that. Yeah, the choir right here. Maybe what I
Oh,
will do.
I hear myself.
Go big stereo on that and then mix that back some more. Yeah, more dark.
Okay, so what I'm looking
Woo! That spike on the CPU there. See that with that snare too, there is an imbalance, right? Because there's that big snare comes in, it's heavy on the
Yeah.
right.
If you want to do something that you feel would be good,
You know what I might
Go
just
ahead.
do to that is mono that, just so we don't get that imbalance on
Okay,
it.
yeah.
I don't think it needs to be stereo, and if anything, we could stereo the reverb on it because it's just too much.
Then do that.
Yeah, it's just throwing it out of whack, I think.
Yeah.
And I would just take, just throw a utility on here, and then we can just mono that. Let's see how that works here. If that centers out. That's better.
okay.
What we could do too is just chop those segments and put them on their own track.
Go for it.
Yeah. All right. Cool. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do
I
percussion.
want you to feel comfortable.
You're so
I want there to be dynamics.
You're so gracious. Such a gracious mixer. Let's see. Let's just do this here. Pop these out of here. Now we can control them separately. And then maybe with this guy we don't need that. And
You know what? They're. I can't separate them.
No?
I can't separate the vocals from
Alright.
I thought I could. I'm like anti-reverb most of the time. I don't like a lot of reverb.
Pull it off.
Sounded good with it. But
Yeah, I think it's just what I did was I made it really tight, right?
Yeah.
So it's just a tight plate just to give it a
Sounds
little
good.
pingy vibe. There we go.
Are these the snares here?
There's a snare right up here. No, sorry. This is the percussion snare.
And then this one.
This is the snare flange. So we actually do have a flange underneath
Yeah.
the snare here.
That thing there we can
To bring that up,
give
huh?
some love, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't really given that much love.
Maybe give it even more flange.
Oh yeah, you want on this one or on this one? On the flange itself?
On the flange.
Oh,
Flange
okay.
to flange.
Yeah, we can definitely do a little flange love on there. What do we do? Should we
Flange
do-
or artillery, I've never seen that one.
The meta flange is kind of cool too. in a
It's
way.
old school, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see the Arturia
You
one.
want to see the Arturia one? All right, we're having fun with Arturia today for sure.
I know.
This is
It's
cool.
the-
We
yeah,
want it
that
on
one.
this one
Yeah.
right here, right? All right. Ooh, look at that. That's kind of nifty. Let's see what we get out of this guy.
Just give it tons of air.
All right, we just put this on mono, stereo. Threshold's definitely getting there. Just slower rate. Just a long, slow kind of flange.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
Right?
it may be too high on the Q3, but
You maybe just kind of bring this guy down a little.
yeah.
We could even kind of mellow it out. You want to mellow it out a little bit?
And, yeah, maybe mellow it out, and then we'll bring the whole thing up if needed.
All right, let's hear that.
Cool.
That's cool.
This one's doubled up here. Let me just show you.
Oh, yeah. No wonder that's popping like that. Let's cut that puppy out of there.
Bad.
All right. Hey, man.
I'm gonna need to do the same down there on the way we've isolated the fills on the percussion. You see,
Oh, yes. We didn't do it on the other half of the track,
Yeah.
did we? Okay, here we
doesn't
go.
have too much further to go.
Right.
there.
All right, so we want to do this, cut this guy here, and we're going to cut this guy here, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to cut this guy here.
Yeah.
Now we've isolated those two nicely, and we've monoed this guy.
We need to pull him out of the top one.
Woo! Got to pull that top dude out of there.
Top dude.
Top dude, goodbye.
Bye, dude.
Bye, dude. Good thing. All right, and down here too,
Yeah.
right? We got down here as well. How do we not have those down on the lower? I must have cut those out, huh? That's fine. So we're just going to drag this guy. Let's option drag that down here on the grid, and we're going to get rid of this guy here, and we're going to get rid of this guy here, and then this guy here, and this guy here, and this guy here, and this guy here, and this guy here. Oh my, this is so much fun. All right. Nope.
Not
wrong one.
really.
Ah,
Close.
Close.
Close. Almost. Yeah, that's
Yes.
it. Baby.
Yes. A little bright now.
Yeah.
I think the volume of our snare flange is just starting to creep up a little hot. Where'd that guy go?
It's higher.
Yeah.
It's that
There.
one right below
Right
there.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course it's right below it.
So just push stop.
Yeah.
All that reverb there. What's that from?
That is going to be a good question. Is that on?
That thing. Yeah, it's this Valhalla. Just turn off the Valhalla for now.
Okay, yeah. We might just need a better. It's too long of a reverb tail. That's a delay.
Yeah, that's it. But we got rid of the one that was just
Yeah.
And now that the drums are really hot, these sounds in here need to
Pop a little more.
Yeah, they need to pop.
Okay.
So let's see how,
we
what, where, when, what.
These in this section right here,
Yeah.
V2, right? All right,
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's take a look at the automation here, because we dropped these down. So maybe we shouldn't have.
Just take off the automation. That's the problem with automation on volume. You forget about it. I think the flange drums are a little bit too hot, but
let's ask our listening audience.
Yeah.
Is there too much going on right now, or is it good intensity? I don't know. I'm digging it. I'm feeling the intensity. It's starting.
Let's see.
The mix is starting to gel.
Let's. Hey, kids.
Let's see how long we've been
Do
mixing.
a survey.
We've only been mixing 2.5 hours now. That's not bad.
Who is still with us? Okay, cool. I like that going to. Man, I almost stopped it in and out on the way in here, and I was like, nah, I just had something to eat, and now it's in and out.
Now we are monitoring. We're monitoring in here on the Genelec 1031As with the sub.
Mm-hmm.
So we could just, for reference, hit the focals here at any
Let's hit
time.
some focus. Let's just do it at.
If we want to see what that sounded like at any point. Let's see. I think I might do a patch up for you. But yeah.
Yeah. Chris Conway's on here. I hear you.
Okay, interesting. Okay, that's definitely part of the conversation.
Yeah.
You just want to turn them up?
Yeah. They may be too hot right now. They just need to be like an interesting thing. That's good. Chris Conway saying the repetitive flanging snare is a bit aggressive. And I feel maybe that's just something that the flange comes in the second, in the like the B2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we could pull it out in the beginning.
Yeah, I think so.
So maybe we pull that out here?
Yeah, just... No, don't pull it out. Just pull out the flange, like, turn the flange off.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
This guy here?
Yeah, just turn that off for the first half.
Okay, do you want to bypass it?
Bypass it.
Okay, yeah. All right, so we could, let's do this, automate the flanger, and we turn the, let's see, device on. So we will turn it off here in the beginning, off in the beginning, and let's see what happens when we bring it up over here. So here it's off now.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then over here, let's bring it.
161 start the flange, something
Okay.
like that.
Okay, let's try that. We're going to go all the way out here to 161, and we'll turn it off there. Let's do that. There we go.
Sounded pretty rocking. That's good.
Great suggestion.
Yeah,
Who
Chris,
was-
I just told him.
All right,
I said,
Chris,
we're
yeah.
balancing the flanges for you, Chris.
All right, how are these transitions sounding here?
Sound pretty good.
Yeah. Get a little extra gain there. Da-da-da.
Yeah, it's just a little accent there so it doesn't get boring.
What if we did like a little ducking echo on those?
Try it.
Yeah, I think those would be cool. If we did like audio effect, delay, echo. That's kind of nice. A little bit very long.
Keep it rolling. Keep the camera rolling.
I think that pulsing synth could come up a little.
Yeah, I think the whole group can come back up. Let's just hear what happens right here.
Right as I brought it up.
Yeah.
I hold it right here. This guy. That guy still feels hot right there, right?
Hmm?
This guy? Da-da-da-da.
What about it? What are you saying about it?
A little hot?
I like it hot. If anything, at the end, we'll make it low. But I want it to be like heavy metal.
Like this guy could just...
See, one thing about that thing there. Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah, it's pretty much... I think so, yeah. Not that guy.
I know what you mean. It's the ones that have the vocal part.
Yeah. It's this guy right here.
Yeah. Yeah, bring those down a bit. Yeah, over there. Yes, please. And maybe even just... That's a good move. I was thinking maybe at some point here they come down to, I just don't know where.
Okay.
You know, they can start just getting a little bit. Listen to that, listen to that. Make it a bit louder so we can just play this. They haven't heard this
In a little tent, oh, and just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know
a change gonna
come. Oh, yes it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. I don't know what's up there in the sky. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes it will. I go to the movie and I go downtown. Somebody keep telling me don't hang around. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change gon' come. Oh, yes it will. Then I
go to my brother.
brother.
That's right. Scotty.
And I say, brother, help me please.
Help me, please.
Help me please, brother. We all gotta help each other, please, please.
But he winds up knocking me
He winds up knocking me.
back down on my knees. Oh, change gonna come.
Oh yes it will. Oh yes it will. It always does.
Change's gonna come.
Change is gonna come.
Oh, it's coming, all right.
All right.
Sick.
So
All right.
I think we're getting pretty close.
We are getting
here.
pretty close. Whatever little adjustments were made were just priceless.
Yeah, I think we're getting close. So let's jam it all the way back to the top again.
Okay.
Let's hear our intro. Make sure that our levels on the intro match the coming in of the beat here. I'm going to take a look at my mix levels again over here in Pushland. All right, just check it out. That tape delay sounds good. Sounds sweet. I like that. Might just throw a little compression on the front end of that. Ride this level a little bit so it's not flat all the way through. Let's bring this kind of up. Okay.
I think all these orbital things could be a little bit louder. Just down here. I think they're all the way at the top.
So I'm bringing this up now. We're automating this.
I
This
know.
guy right here. There's the choir.
Not that. Where's the orbital part? I thought it was at the top.
No, this guy's not in the mix anymore. Oh yeah, they're right here. They're right here.
I think all of that could just come up a little bit.
Try to do that again.
Like the way you think. Scott was a drama queen, a drama king, and I'm just not. But we got to bring it for Scott.
Maybe we should start a little lower on the yes. No, keep it hard. Just hard from the stop. All right. No. a delay on there? Did you put a delay on that, or is that
I don't
just
know.
like a
what
little
I-
beat in behind it?
Now the choir's too low.
So now I can bring that out if I jack that up. You hear that?
Are you
Little
playing
beat?
with the beat?
Yeah, that little beat loop in the background.
Okay.
You hear that? Without it? Hear that? I think it's kind of cool to have that more in there, right? Let's make it dynamic.
The choir's gonna come in now. It's a bit soft. Listen.
Here. Right here?
Yeah, you see how you got it lower? Just
Yeah.
make it all the same level. No, take that
Yeah, I
one.
know. I'm going to take it out. I'm just bringing it all up, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Like there? Is the kick too much?
It might be. Just let it go a bit. I mean, maybe for this verse.
The kick's hitting pretty dang hard right now.
Yeah, it's just a question of like I want the kick to be huge. It just didn't need to be huge at that when it first comes in, but it's okay.
We can ramp it up a little bit.
Let's just hear it here. We could, and this would be where.
And then we peak it right there.
Yeah, maybe just bring it down 2 dB or 3 dB
Across the board.
No, until is it 57? So from 41 to 57.
Right here.
And then it just pops a little bit there at 57.
Okay,
So
yeah, we can do it. Right here, right?
yeah, so at 57.
Uh-huh. So why don't we...
Can I show you how I would do it without
Yeah.
doing a volume
Yeah, sure.
curve?
Sure.
So I would go here,
Uh-huh.
and I just go.
Just make it separate and then bring the dynamic down on it?
Yeah,
Just do
'cause-
flip bass gain?
Yeah, 'cause
Okay.
that way it's just, there's. I'm not messing around with. 30.
Yeah, so you just drop it down a couple dB?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense, sure.
And let's just see if that's. That feels more natural. Just scroll down. Okay. So that's hats.
There's this
flip.
percussion fill we never touched.
Yeah, that thing's a cool little piece. So let's get that popping a bit. Don't listen to it there. Listen to it when there's no. Yeah, just.
Oh, it's like a tambourine kind of
just
fill with
make
the
it nice
snare
and
on it.
loud.
Huh? Okay, yeah, let's just throw a little bit of Pro Q on that guy.
Oh yeah.
Let's just tighten that up.
If there's something to drink in the fridge, can I take
Oh
it?
yeah,
or is
of course.
It,
Whatever
does
you
it
want,
belong
man.
to someone? 'Cause
I got a juice in there. You want a juice?
That would be sweet.
Yeah, there's a green juice in that fridge right there. Yeah. Yeah, let's do. Whoop! Don't want that. That's silly. Let's do shape. Let's go high shelf on that.
Let's do it one more time.
Cool. I just want to check one other thing that I was hearing. Sometimes it's cool to listen from another room, like outside.
I do like
I like to hear it in the hallway, and then I hear things that you're not necessarily hearing when you're like right in the sound field.
I feel you. Also like making it really quiet.
Yeah, or turning it way down,
Mm-hmm.
in the room. Because we've been listening at a pretty constant volume of around 80 dB in here. Still trying to figure this one out. Why this isn't working for me. See, I'm holding the shift key down, but it's not giving me the time stretch I'm looking for. Why is it not doing that? I should be able to hold shift.
I think you're in Pro Tools.
No. There's time expansion, time compression in Ableton. Holding the shift key down, but it's not giving it to me. I'm not sure if that's a preference I've got here.
I think we add some more distortion to the shaker, or do you think it's good?
Okay, let's take a look. I kind of like it tighter. That's less. That's a lot more drive. Here's with the Punisher on. That's too much. I mean, I kind of like it less myself. Doesn't matter taste. What do you like? There's more.
Tighter sounds good.
I like tighter because it feels more rhythmic. I slipped the shaker part a little bit.
Really good.
I slipped it in time.
That's cool.
Just to, I felt like put it in the pocket. I like that. It feels tighter to me. Yeah.
So Chris, who's commenting here, he's like, you should put some rain in here.
Rain?
Yeah, he's like, find some rain and put it in
Oh,
here.
for the Raincry.
Just in here. If we could have rain. Yeah. Do you have any?
Yeah, we actually do.
Let's just see if we can throw some rain in
All right,
there.
let me see what I can dig up here. Let's see if I can find this here. It's not in the library.
Just do a search in the search field for
Yeah,
rain.
I know, but the sound effects library should be on our network here.
Oh, it's not.
Yeah, let's search for it. See what happens.
Storm, maybe.
Yeah, I'm trying to see.
Definitely not that.
Yeah, that's definitely. We definitely have libraries that are
It sounded great.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to see, but I know where they. I gotta just figure out where they are. profile.
Do I have rain on mine? Let's see.
Sounding pretty good, I think, huh?
I think it sounded fucking great. A lot of good decisions. Is this rain?
I think we can sign off of YouTube at
Birds
this point.
and
What do you think?
I'm chatting with one guy. Let me just see
Okay,
birds
okay.
and morning rain.
Okay.
It's actually a song called Burn. But we could. Let me just tell him we're leaving him now. Heavy rain with pedals. Oh, here's some rain. Heavy rain on pants. On plants.
Okay, we're looking for some rain samples here.
Yeah, I got rain on plants here.
Uh-huh.
Let me just...
You want to pop the drive back over here?
I'll just put it on this.
Okay. He's telling me where our sound effects is because we moved our library off this system.
What beat is this? Lee Scratch Perry just showed up. Alright, there's some rain on here.
Okay, cool. Let's pop it over here.
I'm gonna tell these guys we're gonna roll. We're ending the session.
Okay.
You
You want to just say a little something to finish it up here?
I need heavy rain on trees, man. We got rain for you. Yeah, we on the program. All right, guys. It is, what's the time?
6:15. We got a little late start. We started at 3. Remember
Yeah.
my premonition? I said this was going to start at 3.
You got her working.
For everybody who stuck around, thank you so much for sticking around and hanging with us today. This has been a lot of fun. We know we got off to a little late start. Our ATEM wasn't cooperating, but we got it through thanks to Josh Valdez. Shout out to you for making it work, getting the OBS thing connected.
Yeah, and thanks for sticking around and giving us feedback and
Yeah.
giving some pointers. And thanks for all the support through the years and into the future.
Yep.
And yeah, man.
And here's to a happy, healthy 22, a joyous, live in the moment, be present, feel good about life, because all the rest is just whatever it is. I don't know. It's
only
some
way
crazy shit out there.
Only way to get to the other side is through the shit. Fucking trust me, we're wading through the shit. So
Yeah.
stay dry and stay clean.
Yeah.
Keep smiling.
And thanks to you, Gavin, for bringing in this cool track. It's been a lot of
Thank you,
fun.
Greg.
Always a pleasure having you here in the studio,
Yeah,
working
man.
with you here. And we'll be doing more of this stuff, right? More mixes coming from Gavin.
Let's do
Mixes
it.
coming from me. I've been working on some new tracks.
Can't wait to hear that.
And super psyched. And we're going to be doing some of these streams not just from B here, but from Studio A. We're setting that up for live streaming too. So we'll be psyched to share that with y'all too.
And if you guys want to join PerMind and learn some tricks on the production front, this is a full functioning school that can
Oh, yeah, that too,
teach
right.
you everything you need to know about how to make music for yourself and how to support others.
And talking about support, thanks for subscribing to our channel, because I know you had to subscribe to watch the video here. Tell your friends, and we'd love to be doing more of these things and getting more folks involved. So thanks, everybody. Really, really appreciate it. Peace out.
Music's magic.